Welcome back to the KSSR space program. Where we left off last time, we were making some progress with some aviation contracts and cleared out a few of them. And we have a couple that we need to be working on. A long-range mission to the South Pole, a jet to break Mach 1, and set an altitude record of 25,000 meters. So we're going to take a quick look at where we stand. All right, we have some small jet engines that might be up to doing the trick there. And what we're going to be doing is taking a quick assessment. Which engines are these? Okay, yeah, these are smaller turbojet engines. We are taking a quick assessment of what we might be able to sort of go for. And I'm going to go for a jet to break Mach 1. That's going to be the first thing. So let's get going on some aircraft construction, and I will speed this up a little bit. I was about to test this aircraft. I realized I forgot to do something important. Need to set our control groups to control the afterburner of these engines. So I'm going to link that to our RCS because we need a control group. So it's going to be switch mode. Okay. So we've made our Mach 19. Any resemblance to any actual aircraft is entirely coincidental. And we are going to see if we can punch this thing to break Mach 1. And I think there's a reasonably good chance this design will be able to get us there. And while we're at it, oh yeah, we're going to punch Mach 1 easily. And while we're at it, I'm going to check the ceiling height. There's a good chance we may be able to get the 25,000 meters in a zoom climb with this. Yeah, we're easily supersonic with this design. So all we got to do is land back at the runway to complete that contract. I'm going to check the altitude while I'm doing this. Okay, this design will very easily be able to reach that 25,000 meter contract. So what I'm going to do with that knowledge, we're going to revert back, we're going to accept that contract, and then relaunch to do a little bit of a 2-for-1. How's that sound? 25,000 meters. We can easily do that. And we'll get these contracts out of the way. And you know what? Just to get a little bit of a pilot experience on someone else, we'll throw Valentina in there. And she looks all excited. And, you know, with this design, I may be able to return some science from the upper atmosphere. So that's definitely something that has some potential. But let's kick the afterburners. We'll get our Mach 1 out of the way. And, you know, just for good measure, I'm just going to kind of pin that as a little auxiliary fuel gauge. And we need to be... Oh, whoops, look at that. There's an error in the contract. The requirement is for 12,000 meters. Well, that's what I get for not proofing and beta testing my own work. Minor detail, just ignore that. We'll go up and do the 25,000 meters anyway. We'll complete the spirit of the contract, even if it's not absolutely strictly required. Oh, alright, looks like it was just a typo. It did actually want us to get 25,000. But we are, now if you notice here, our situation, we're in the upper atmosphere. And we're going to transmit that crew report. We're going to grab some of the science out of our mystery goo. And we got high enough where our jet engine's crapped out. So we're going to have to do a little bit of a dive. And then turn around and get home. And we are actually punching quite a bit past Mach 1. That's a bit faster than I actually expected this this particular plane to be. But we'll take it. We'll take it. Good news is we'll have no trouble getting home, even though we're almost out of fuel. Because our speed will definitely more than compensate. And we just got to get back and land on the runway. Well, any landing you can walk away from is a good landing. And that counted. It complete both of our contracts. So we had some minor damage there, but that's fine. It's fine. You know, nothing a little Bondo won't fix. Alright, so we got 76 science now. Let's have a look at what that can get us. That can get us aerodynamics, which will get us some relatively significant parts. It'll also get us liquid fuels, which will get us some rocket stuff. Or we could do solid fuels, get into some like radar boosters. Reinforced engineering isn't really going to be super important right this second. What I really want to get up to here is avionics. We've also got some like really good aviation tech it's a little bit further up, but for right now, high-speed flight is kind of the objective that we're trying to get to. So I guess we're going to go with aerodynamics next. And high-speed flight also requires reinforced engineering, so we do need it as a prerequisite, even if nothing else. Let me take a look. Basic integration, in order to get the Science Junior, would actually be really good. So maybe I should have gotten that first. But what I will do is I am going to harvest a little bit of science, and I'm going to do it. Going to kind of be a little ghetto here. Let's I'll speed this up a little bit. Okay, this may backfire horribly, but what we are trying to do... Okay, good, we'll be able to get some signs from that. Literally is going to be just to go deposit this capsule off in the distance. Uh-oh, do we... Oh, that's going to be an issue. Alright, we'll have to get off the end of the runway. Not quite enough pitch authority off the... There we go. Alright, so literally all I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be taking this and going and depositing it off on the grasslands. Hopeful for the best. We're also getting some flight experience for Bill and Bob. Alright, we're now flying over the grasslands. Let's make sure... Yeah, alright, we've already done temperature from here. Have we done crew report? We have as well. Alright, so now... we're just going to do some of this. Okay, and with luck... this will set us down gently enough to not destroy our little cockpit here. Excellent. All right, so we're going to get some quick science. Oh. There we go. Diminishing returns, but that's okay. All right, 44, not bad. So what that's going to do, that's going to get us basic integration, which will unlock the Science Junior. Now, that unlocks an enormous amount of scientific potential, and we can start incorporating that into our other designs. But what we are going to do for right now is we are going to do... Did I save it? I did not. Okay, that's fine. We are going to do another little rover thing to just drive around and collect a whole bunch of science. This won't be super exciting, so we're going to speed this up. Alright, it's really ghetto, but this will work to get us some science from around the KSC biomes that will punch our aviation up quite a bit. Okay, that flip was a little scary, but that should get us a whole bunch of science. As kind of ghetto as that is, that's something that's, you know, not a very, like, Soviet thing to do, but it advances our science significantly. So we'll just do that and move on with some of our good aviation tech there. Now we're also going to grab some basic electronics. If nothing else, that'll get us some, like, lights and batteries. Always good. Oh no, we don't quite have enough. Oh well, okay, that's okay. We should have enough, I think, for... Yeah, I think between all that, we've got enough for some interesting aircraft. But let's check out our contracts. Alright. We have an available contract to break Mach 2. That should be easy. And fly to the South Pole. That should also be easy now. So, we're going to design ourselves an interesting aircraft. So, stand by. Okay, so this one hopefully is relatively obvious. Now, there are a couple of issues. First of which, it's almost impossible to get the elevators really looking right on this particular aircraft design. So I kind of did the best I could. But this should be able to pretty easily get us our Mach 2. Oh, it wants us to land on the runway. Well, it should be able to get us our Mach 2 without any trouble. So we're going to go up real quick. Oh, we don't have a lot of elevator authority. A lot less than I expected. Oh, it's because I did roll instead of pitch. Wow, I'm clearly an idiot. Okay, there we go. So, there's that. We are just going to go up, grab ourselves some science for Mach 2. And then get back to the runway. Once we get up to altitude there. Easily punched through Mach 2, as expected. So now I'm just going to do a little bit of a zoom climb and get some science out of that second science container from high altitude. Okay. Now we're just going to take this back to KSC and land it out for some quick science. Alright, let's see if we can set this thing in for a landing. Coming in a little hot, but that is to be expected in a design like this. Look at that. Clean landing. Not bad. Alright, so the only thing I'm not super happy about there was our fuel consumption. We consumed quite a bit of fuel in that little run. A little bit more than I was expecting, but that's okay. But we did get a fair amount of science out of that. We're up to 89 now, so that'll actually be enough to get us like some really good tech after we sort of move up this way. Now, this is the point where we're going to start thinking about getting into some rocketry before we really proceed with the aviation. So we should have at least, the parts now to launch our first artificial satellite. Not bad. However, let me take a quick look here. Alright, we have a whole bunch of extra contracts for all these other locations. So what I'm going to do, I am going to go through and see if I can knock these out with a very long-range aircraft. But before I do that, let's look at our thing. All right. Yeah, we got to upgrade this. How many can we get at once? First, we have Fly to the South Pole. We get... All right. That'll have good money. That'll have good money. So I'm going to get those. Structure in the desert. That'll have good money. Alright, we can have a few more. So Arctic crash site. We also want that. Crashed space probe. We want that, but we're going to save that, I think, to the end. The other transmagnetic anomalies. I'll see about grabbing those. Alright. Yeah, we got too many as it is. Okay, so we are going to build a long-range aircraft that we're going to be able to reuse and knock out all the rest of that aviation stuff. And it occurs to me, I do not yet have the correct size fuel tank. Minor detail. Alright, we're going to have to do it a little bit differently than I had intended. But that's okay. Nothing we can't work with. Okay, so with this design, I'm hopeful, looking at the fuel load, we should have enough fuel to get us going at least to a couple of these destinations, like up north. We can hit, I think, Glacier Lake and the crashed UFO, and get there a little bit quicker than we did with the prop aircraft. And assuming this works, this design, and that the range gets us there, I will be able to get enough science to make the long-range aircraft I was originally going to. But for now, we're going to go ahead and speed this up. Because this is... Oh, I already see something I need to do. Need to get the auto strut going there. Okay. So yeah, this is going to be a long flight. And we're going to save for Kraken insurance. Alright, so we've reached the crashed UFO. We're going to be coming in for a landing here. This is probably going to be a really dirty landing. Should probably switch that to AGL. Alright, and this is going to be tough because we have a narrow undercarriage. Okay, that actually wasn't as bad as I expected. Oh, we're wobbling a little bit. It's okay, though. Slowing it down. And really, if we get close enough to run over on foot, I'll consider that a victory. So we can taxi a little bit. And we'll use our brake and parachutes just because we can. And we are going to shut down these engines. And these turbofan engines, you know, they got us here a lot quicker than the props. We were able to get up to around like 200 meters per second instead of like the 140 to 160 we were doing with the props. So, you know, they were only marginally faster. But if you check my fuel, they are significantly more efficient, which is always a very good thing. All right, so we're going to... Oh, we've already done that, and that's fine. All right, so we are going to jump out and just go tag the Easter egg. I'm not going to bother planting a flag or anything with this career. For the Easter eggs here on Kerbin, you know, I'm not going to bother with the flag plantings. Literally, I just want to go tag it. And after I tag this one, I am going to use this same aircraft to go tag the other monoliths. I'm literally just going to fly past, have a crew member bail out, and use their parachute to go down and land on the other monoliths. To tag those, both to get the contracts out of the way, and it'll grab us a little bit of science that I think will get the last couple of parts we need for the long-range aircraft that'll go clear out the rest of the aviation contracts. And I am going to do that. I'm going to go clear out the monoliths off camera because with these slow-moving aircraft, that's going to take quite a while. So after I go tag this UFO up here, you know, we're taking our time. I will head back to KSC, retrieve our crew member here, retrieve our little airliner that we just flew up here to the North Pole, go clear out the Fly to the South Pole contract, as well as the rest of the monoliths. And then we will call it a day. Okay. All right, we'll recover that. All right, that alone got us a whole bunch of science. So I'm looking here. This tail fin is a really important part that we need. Fuel tanks. This one right here was relatively important. Oh, that one right there was relatively important. That tail fin is also pretty significant. We need that. But just to show you what we just got with that last unlock, we got the larger size fuel tanks. So if we use one of these larger cockpits, we've got the liquid fuel tank to go with it. So we can successfully use, you know, some of these larger cockpits. And we've got the fuel tank to go with it. We're going to have some fun with that later. But for right now, I am going to go through and clear out those monolith contracts just by parachuting down and tagging them, the TMAs. And again, I'm going to do that off camera. Yeah, and that historical site one, that's also like right over at the desert airfield. Can do that one like literally on foot. Oh no, I hit decline by accident. Whoops. All right, anyway, I'm going to go do those off camera. So I will see you in the next episode. As always, thanks for watching.